Faisal, how are you?
It is, yes, doing good.
Doing well. Okay, so
Yeah.
for VC3, I had Rakesh send you the proposal also. You were asking now, you had some school.
I didn't get time to see that.
Okay.
Yeah, share it by the evening. Yeah,
Take your time. I just discussed it with Adam and I shared it across. That's it.
fine. Also, I had a word with one of the founders, right? So he's leaving for US by this month end. He
Oh,
said
he
he'll be
can go.
back by
He
April.
can meet. He can meet Adam also there. Yeah, that is also possible.
And okay, if that is the case, just probably share the contact details. I'll share it with him. I don't know which part of the US he's going to. I'm not sure on that.
Yeah, New York. Adam is based out of New York, so I think if he's going to New York, then yeah.
I think he might go there because his daughter is there. He used to.
Anyway, so we've seen good participation. Huh?
Yeah, 30.
Yeah, a lot of people. Good, good.
He'll be distributing the certificates, right?
The participation certificate.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, participation certificate that you participated in this. And everybody was asking for it.
Yeah, that's what I told to Ayan also last time.
Yeah, everybody was asking for it, so we created it. Otherwise, what is the value of this certificate? I am not sure, but I think teachers appreciate it. So, yeah. Hmm. Okay, so let's start. I'll start letting
Yeah.
them. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this session of AI-based teacher trainer. Thank you so much for joining in the session. I know this is the end of the day. You must have had a long, tiring day from your administrative work at the school. Thank you so much for joining in. Today, we are absolutely going to talk about an AI-based teacher trainer, patented technology all the way coming in from the US. We have our special guest as well who has joined in, who will be talking about this platform, how to use it, how this would be useful for some of you who have joined in. I'm Dheeraj Trakru. I'm the founding director of Knotral Trainings as well as India Market Entry. This session is powered by Edthena and is hosted by Knotral Trainings. The session structure is as follows, just a short snippet. So I will start with a quick presentation in a minute. And prepared for this session, especially, I'll cover key aspects of what is Edthena as a company, or what is AI teacher trainer as a platform, a product. And then I would introduce our special guest and trainer for the evening. He will take us through the journey of the platform, how it works, what are the core principles, how can this help you in your professional development journey as an educator, as a teacher, as a school leader, as a training provider, or even as a reseller or consultant. Towards the end, we have allocated time for the question and answer session, but I would welcome everyone to participate and ask any relevant questions as they come across in the chat. We have our team also who has joined in the session, and we'll be very happy to answer some of those questions that are coming across in the session. If there are questions that the team cannot answer, we would definitely take them towards the end in the Q&A session, and we'll be happy to answer them. As this is going to be an interactive session, we would request all of you to find a quiet place and make sure you respond to us in the chat when you are prompted. And even unmute yourself and have a conversation with us as the trainer basically starts to talk about the platform. Because this is going to be an engaging session and we will want you to interact with us. So let's make this an interesting, engaging session. I will start with a short presentation. So what we are going to show you today is quite remarkable platform that actually was named as the Time magazine's best invention of 2025, the AI coach or AI teacher trainer that has been developed by Edthena. More importantly, this platform directly supports the NCERT's vision of teaching excellence and aligns perfectly with the National Education Policy's requirement for continuous professional development every year. This product has been trusted in multiple countries worldwide. So what we're trying to do is bring world-class teacher development solution to India through Knotral trainings. Moving forward, there's a short poll on your screen, as you can see. I will just launch the poll here. And you can choose the option that is relevant for you. You currently work with the school as educator, teacher, school consultant, academic advisor, edtech reseller, teacher trainer, professional development provider, school leader. We would love to know who you are, what is your profile, so that we can customize our training and the presentation accordingly. Please select one option that is the most relevant for you. I would invite everybody to please contribute to this poll. I can see there are only 40% of people who have contributed. I'd request everyone else who are sitting on the sidelines. As I said, let's make this engaging so that we can learn together. So please answer this simple question that is reflecting on your screen currently. You currently work with the school as, select one option that is the most relevant for you. All right, super. Thank you so much. We see a lot of educators and teachers today join in, which is always amazing to have all of you beautiful teachers join in, especially because this is going to help. This platform is built for teachers by teachers and is going to help you to grow in your professional journey. So let's talk about Edthena. Edthena is a US-based teacher development company. This was founded in 2011 by Adam Geller. Adam Geller, who I know personally, is a former classroom teacher who actually understood the real challenges a teacher faces in the classroom. And the last 15 years, Edthena has singularly focused on only one thing, is helping teachers improve their classroom practice. Edthena has been trusted by schools, universities, governments globally. But what really sets them apart is their research-led classroom-first approach. So this isn't a Silicon Valley startup that is built technology first and trying to fit it in the educational context. This is actually a teacher-led initiative built for teachers. And look at the credential on the screen at the bottom, you can see. Gates Foundation backs them. EdTech, they have won numerous awards: EdTech Breakthrough, Smart Brief Innovation, Times Best Innovation. A lot of those awards and recognitions that they have won. They have won recognition with World Economic Forum, OECD recognition, and even FERPA compliance, which essentially says that all the data and knowledge that are being used in this is private to the user, private to the teacher, private to the leader, whoever it is. It's completely private and under the control of the teacher. This platform has been validated by researchers at University of Virginia, and it's grounded in solid academic research on how teachers actually improve. The research shows that AI teacher training or AI coaching can be as effective as human coaching for goal achievement. This is not what we are saying, this is what the research says. So a quick poll here, and I would like everybody to contribute to this poll. Here, what is the biggest challenge you see in teacher development today? Now, this is very contextual, and I would let you choose your answer. Give it a thought. You just have to choose one, and no answer is incorrect. This is your perspective, your objective opinion. So would love to understand what is the biggest challenge you see in teacher development today. There are about 5 options in front of you. Please choose the one that you feel is the right one. So we see training is mostly theoretical, not classroom based, coming to be the top one right now. Then we have lack of school involvement and difficult measuring real improvement as second, limited opportunities for observation. So training is mostly theoretical, is leading. Okay. I request everyone who's sitting on the sidelines, please check out the poll right front of your screen and choose one option that you feel is the biggest challenge. There's no wrong answers, guys. Awesome. All right. So without further ado, we'll move forward. As you can see, the top answer is training is mostly theoretical and not classroom based. Absolutely the same answer we've got in most of the countries, and also the other answers are all right answers. These are the challenges that we have observed as well across countries, across schools, across cities. If there are any other challenges you feel, please feel free to add them in the chat. Perfect. Thank you so much for being active participants in this session. So what is exactly AI coach or AI teacher trainer? What does it do? In simple terms, it's a video-based teacher development platform that helps educators improve their classroom teaching. So how does it work? First, the teacher reflects on their own lesson. They record like 10-15 minutes of their actual classroom teaching on their phone or on the laptop. Nothing fancy is required, right? Just record the lesson. Second, the AI actually guides the entire process. The AI guides the observation, reflection, as well as action planning. It's like you have a teaching coach available 24/7 with you. Number 3, it's about continuous improvement. So through short coaching cycles, teacher actually gets better systematically. Not through only theory, but through practice. Number 4, it works universally. So it's across subjects, it's across standards, classrooms, grades, boards, CBSE, ICSE, State Board, IB, Cambridge, all of them. Because it focuses on the core skills of teaching. And let me share some numbers that demonstrate the scale at which AI Coach is currently being utilized. Over 5 million minutes of classroom video has been processed already. More than 400,000, 4 lakh professional development conversations have been facilitated by AI Coach. This is a patented technology, and most recently, as I mentioned earlier as well, Time magazine actually awarded this as the best invention. And what actually Time said about this platform really captures its essence. The platform helps teachers grow in their instructional practice by guiding structured self-reflection on classroom videos of their teaching in action. But the magic isn't in the technology alone. It's in the process of coaching. Let me show you quickly how it works. So AI Coach has 4 phases of coaching cycle. Each cycle takes approximately 2 hours and can be completed at the teacher's own pace. So you can pause, stop anywhere you want in the middle of the session, continue wherever you left it off. There are 4 phases. Phase 1 is analyze. As a teacher, you would upload your classroom video for self-observation. The video stays 100% private. Only and only you can see it. The AI here plays a critical role. The role is that it identifies your key teaching moments in the video, provides guidance on self-observation. So no judgments. It's guidance on self-observation. And so I mean, think of it like, the AI is telling you, hey, look at minute 7. Something interesting happened here. And what happened here was around student engagement. So that's how it sort of prompts you and guides you to look at that particular timeline. Phase 2 is reflect. So based on this analysis that you have done in the analyze phase, you would then go to a reflection phase where the teacher chooses, as a teacher, you would choose the goal oriented improvement plan. So you would choose your goals right at the beginning. What are the goals? Which aspects of teaching you want to improve on or work on currently? And then based on that, the AI provides reflection prompts. So this is to guide your thinking. For example, it might ask you a question like, what did you notice about how students responded to your questioning? What would you do differently next time? So that kind of reflective questions it would ask, and then you will move to phase 3, that is enact. That's exactly where you start implementing things in the classroom. So as a teacher, you would select a specific strategy to implement in the classroom. The AI will help you with curated resources, research-based strategies, video examples, and practical tips, and will help you to track your objectives. Finally, the 4th phase comes in, where is impact. So after you have tested, tried those strategies in the classroom, you will document them as results, and you will complete the reflection log. That's where the AI basically supports you in identifying the impact of the change, and also plan for the future cycles of coaching. And this cycle, then, you would repeat this cycle as many times as you want. But generally, we recommend you to do, 4 to 8 cycles in a year, which is possible to do in your free time, because you can pick up anytime. So you have 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and you continue the cycle every time you do it. So the question is, what skills can you actually develop using this AI coach? The answer is comprehensive range of core teaching competencies. You can see all of these competencies on your screen. Core teaching skills are covered. These are all connected to the well-researched frameworks that are already being taught in B.Ed colleges through NCRT trainings. These are all those essential skills. Apart from that, it is also for science of reading, foundation skills, science of reading, growth and application for higher grades. So it's on literacy as well. So the opportunity here is significant, right? We're bringing global research-backed teaching practices to our classrooms, and that too at scale, with consistency and being able to measure that as individuals ourselves. So this isn't really importing any methodology blindly, but this is essential teaching practices. So before I hand over for demo, I want to introduce someone special who will show you how actually AI Coach works in practice. Mohamed Faisal Al Hasan is an experienced education leader with extensive expertise in teacher development, instructional improvement, and education leadership. He's the founder of CREL, for Research in Education and Leadership. This is an organization that is focused on advancing teacher practice through research-informed method. He's also a Cambridge International Center for Teaching and Learning Program leader. He supports the teacher growth and instructional excellence across Cambridge schools. And what especially makes Faisal valuable for today's session, that he has actually used the AI coach, provide detailed feedback on how it works in the Indian context, and he understands both global best practices and is grounded in the realities of the Indian classroom. So without further ado, let me hand over to Faisal to give you a live demonstration and explanation on how AI Coach works in practice. Faisal, over to you.
Thank you, Dheeraj. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining the session. Let me just share the screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, hope it's visible. Yes, so teacher, so I have a scenario for you. What I would like you to do is that read the scenario and answer the question that is stated. Right? It's a simple scenario. A grade 8 teacher starts a lesson on agriculture in India. Right? She begins reading and explaining from the textbook. She does not write or explain what students are expected to learn. Right? She does not write or explain what students are expected to learn. Students underline important lines as she speaks. Only a few students answer questions while many sit quietly. Some students at the back start talking. So the question here is, and you can use the chat box, in what ways the teacher could have ensured the class was effective? In what ways the teacher could have ensured that the class was effective? So this is a scenario. I would like you to use the chat box and suggest your responses here, please. The class was on agriculture in India. The teacher explained, reading and explaining. She does not write or explain what students are expected to learn. Students are underlining the key points, and the class moves on like that. Okay. Picture provocation, asking question to the students. Ask about agriculture, okay. Making it activity-based class, good. The teacher just merely discusses, yeah. Right. Thank you for the response. I think even those who hadn't responded to the chat box, I think it is pretty much obvious that the class was not actively engaging, right? So I think here the teacher could have ensured that the students were actively engaged in the class so that the class would have been more lively, to ensure that even the students at the back were attentive. Now, this is a regular classroom practice which happens in most of the class. And with that in mind, Let me just move to the next slide, right? So this is what it is, which I'll explain. So she begins reading and explaining, no active learning, right? She does not write or explain what the students are expected to learn. So the learning objective was not stated, which is actually a basic classroom practice. Just by writing and stating the learning objective of the students, the research suggests that learning improves by 27%. Just by stating the learning objective and what is expected in the class. The teacher does that, research suggests that learning improves by 27%. Right? The third point, students again underline the key points or important lines. Again, no active learning there. And the fourth point being lack of classroom management. I think the teacher doesn't have a clarity in terms of how the classroom has to be managed. Right? So these are some of the issues that was given in the scenario. As rightly mentioned, active learning strategy is something which is critically missing in the class. Moving on, if this is the case, right? If a teacher is found not to incorporate active learning strategies in the class or any other relevant strategy, which would have ensured the students were attentive, what normally happens is general feedback would be given after class observation, right? And in most of the schools, they provide one-time professional development workshops that normally happens or usually happens at the beginning of the academic year. Right at the inception of the academic year, we have professional development program or workshops that happens. Right? The third is which we could have ensured that teacher actually is able to produce an active learning class. But is that very simple? No. Even if you have to adopt those strategies, what happens is that most often the feedback given by the one who's observing is going to be very general, right? There's no specifics in terms of how the teacher can improve their teaching and learning. So one of the teacher had actually put it in the chat box, like to have a provocation, which is actually a good way to begin the class, right? It can be a visual provocation, object provocation. It can be an analogy or a metaphor. There are different ways to begin the class. So most often the specifics of how to improve the class would be missed. That is one of the general things that normally happens. The feedback is very general. And also the teacher may forget, even if they give the feedback, sometimes the feedback itself, the teacher might forget the details of the lesson because the time the feedback was given might have been very late. Right? So that is one, again, obvious reason why this might happen, where even if you have effective PD workshops or peer observation or any observation for that matter, if there is no proper mechanism in the school, obviously whatever input is given, it's not going to reflect in the classroom practice. Right? Third point, there is little follow-up support to help the teacher improve. Right? Lack of resources, the follow-up wouldn't be effective, which would again ensure that the teacher might not be able to improve or make progress. And the fourth point, which you had most of the teachers had mentioned earlier, that workshops are usually theoretical and one-time events, right? If the workshops are usually theoretical, again, the chances of the practices getting implemented is very rare. Teachers may feel uncomfortable being evaluated by colleagues. That again is a point, right? If someone is going to observe their class, they may find the challenge overwhelming at times. The last point being time constraints limit regular follow-up observations. If there are regular follow-up observation, if there is lack of time, which normally is something which happens in the school, where the teachers don't find time to give follow-up observation, right? So these are some of the challenges that the teachers face, or the school face rather, which does not help the teacher to progress in their teaching and learning, right? These are some of the problems that the teacher normally face, right? Moving on. So with this in mind, what AI Coach by Edthena has done is that it has created a platform where the teacher can actually self-evaluate and reflect, right? So that the challenges that was mentioned in the previous slide can be overcome. So what I would do here is that I'll help you across how the platform looks like, and also I'll show the platform in real time as well. So in order to save time, this is actually the first page. You can log in the AA coach using the Google credentials that you have. And you have the other pages which talks about the AA coach itself, certain details about the AA coach, and it's created by educators for educators. As Dheeraj had earlier mentioned, Mr. Adam himself was a teacher, right? So coaching cycle. This again is something which was explained by Dheeraj, the 4 stages, right? These are some of the pages that you'll be able to see when you log in using the credentials, right? And finally, you'll have the report and certificate, right? As mentioned by Dheeraj, you have a cycle, right? So typically about 6 to 8 cycle a teacher in a year can make use of to help themselves or make progress in their teaching and learning. That is something which is recommended, typical of 6 to 8 learning cycles per year, per teacher, right? And these are the 4 stages: analyze, reflect, enact, and impact. These are the 4 stages that a teacher would normally go through as they begin the cycle, right? First, you're going to upload the video of your teaching and learning practice in the classroom. And upon uploading, the next page will take you to what is that you want to improve, right? Which skill area would you like to improve? So you can actually select core teaching practices. That is something which normally the teachers would like to improve, the teaching practices. It'll take you to the next page where it asks you for 3 goal areas which you would like to improve. As you could see, there are a list of options here. From that, you can choose 3. So the first one being check student understanding more often, right? How do you check students' understanding, which comes under formative assessment, right? There's actually extensive work or research done by Dyle and William. That is something which you can definitely refer to. So check for student understanding be the first one. Do you set clear expectation for the students? So for instance, sharing the learning objective, as I mentioned earlier, that itself is a clear expectation. And if you want to go further, sharing success criteria with the student. By the end of the class, if the students are able to achieve the success criteria, then the class is good, right? Then positive relationships with the students. This is about classroom management again. The 4th one being classroom routines and procedures. This again is classroom management strategies to facilitate group discussions, right? This comes under active learning strategies, right? Then elicit student thinking and stronger engagement, again active learning. Right? These are some of the goal areas. Again, like you have other goal areas which you can choose, right? Clearly present academic content, promote diversity. So these are some of the aspects which talks about differentiated instructions. A book written by Carol Ann Tomlinson. Again, that is something which is for you to read. Then teacher talk time. So again, most often the teachers in a regular class, they'll be engaging in a discussion, or rather I should say, it'll be the teacher who leads the class, and the time taken by the teacher in the class, if we're talking about 40-minute duration, on an average, it clocks to about 30 to 35 minutes, right? And the 5 minutes duration is something which is given to the students on an average I'm talking about. But that duration is actually should be increased, where the teacher talk time should be reduced and the student should be involved. So as you could see, these are some of the goal areas that you can choose, which you would like to improve in your teaching and learning practice. Right? And then let me just go to the platform itself. We share the screen. Okay, so here we go. Yeah. So this is how the platform looks, right? As you could see, this is a video that was already uploaded, right? From one of the class, the teacher had already uploaded the video. And as Dheeraj had explained to us earlier, as you could see these timestamps with kind of an emoji, that is where are the key teaching moments of the class. This is actually in the background generated by AA itself. AA generates these, and it does not give you a prompt in such a way that where it says, this is the area where you have done, you need to improve, or this is the area where you've done exceedingly well. It doesn't do that. So what it does is that rather than giving you a prompt where it explicitly states the strengths or the areas of improvement, it asks these kind of questions. What information were you gathering from students' initial response about the break-in? right? It asks these provocative questions in such a way that the teacher reflects on what had happened and responds to those questions. And as you could see, how are you using student responses to build the collective understanding of the content? So these are some of the timestamps which A itself generates and gives to the teacher. And if we have to give the timestamp, obviously we are the one who is going to look at the video and analyze the strengths and limitations of a class, which we can do as well. So for instance, as I play the video, and this is a key point or stage in the lesson where I felt, I think I've asked an open-ended question, I can mark this as a strength, right? And as you could see, these three aspects there. So these are the three goals I've actually selected. Checking for student understanding, clearly presenting and explaining content, student teacher talk ratio. These are the ones that I've earlier selected where I showed you in the slide. Three goals can be selected. And if I want to change the goals at any point in time, I can do that as well, right? Let me just check for student understanding. I'm going to click on that, right? And I can give the comment here. Okay, what went well, right? Asked open-ended questions which help the learners to think critically, right? So there, that's something like which I believe is one of the strengths. And again, if I want to give areas where I think I could have done better, again, I can go to the note and the same thing happens, right? Right. So I can give the option, type key in the words, more would have been provided to the students to engage the class, right? So these are some of the just to show you like how this one works. So this note is something where the areas for improvement, which based on my observation and based on my analysis, I have given this. So as you can see, these are the timestamps which are there given by AA as well as by me. And one of the other factor is that I can increase the time as well, the speed at which the video can be played at, given the fact that we don't have much time in the classroom, right? To ensure that the time is utilized effectively, I can increase the time and also ensure that I give the comments there or self-evaluate and reflect. And as you can see here, this is the video section, and then you have the reflection log, right? And as you go, whatever inputs I've given there, so that will be captured in the reflection log. Strengths, notes, all those will be captured, and at the end, this will be generated as a summary, and also a certificate will be received or generated after the entire cycle is over with. And this right side panel is an area where it asks, the A asks the questions so that it helps me to move to the next stage, right? As you can see, these are the forms that is generated by AI. Okay, so it's asking for a title. Right? So it is asking for a title based on the goals that I've selected. It's asking for the title, right? Okay, so this one goes on like that, right? And as Dheeraj had mentioned, so it will take approximately about 1.5 to 2 hours for this to get completed. All the 4 stages in the cycle is something that it is necessary for the teacher to engage with to ensure that he or she is able to gain a good understanding of the teaching and learning process and implement in the classroom. And as I mentioned earlier, it is also mandatory that like the teacher can use this cycle per year. 6 to 8 cycle is something which is recommended, right? And it is up to the school to decide how many cycle per year can be mandated for the teachers, right? Now moving on, again to the PowerPoint slide, right? So this is something which we saw. Okay, so this is the analyze phase. Now the other phases which I mentioned here, I'm not going to show you using the platform itself, because as I mentioned earlier, it is something which is takes about uh, an hour and a half to complete it. So what I would do is that I would show you some of the kind of prompting question that it will ask, so that the teacher self reflects and evaluates his or her performance. So for instance, the reflect phase, so it asks the question, what would you like to change? Based on the analysis, the timestamps that I've given, it'll ask like, what are the things that you would like to change, right? What can be changed about the students' actions or outcomes, right? These are some of the questions that it asks for, and how can you measure this? In what way that you measure it? It's up to the teacher to decide like what way do they think they'll be in a position to measure this change that they're about to implement, right? And the third one being enact or plan of action, right? What kind of a strategy would you incorporate to ensure that the change is implemented, right? So it asks for that. What is your plan of action? Is the other question that it asks. So as you could see, all these questions are something which ensures that the teachers themselves think critically and evaluate their performance and ensure that they're able to progress in their teaching and learning, right? And the last one being impact, where after you implemented, you have to come again to the cycle to give an idea in terms of whether the implementation really worked out or not. In what way, if you say that it has worked out, in what way do you think it has worked out, right? What evidence do you have to show that it was successful? So this is actually again a cycle which goes on right from the analysis phase to impact phase to ensure that the teacher gets a complete understanding of the teaching and learning process. And it is also something which is based on the goals that the teacher had previously set. Based on the 3 goals that the teacher had used or selected, the cycle and the type of questions would ensure that the teacher is able to achieve that goal, right? And mentioned earlier, let's go on, right? So as mentioned earlier by Dheeraj, so it is something which the teacher can do it at their own phase, right? So right after the enact phase, they can take a break because obviously they're going to incorporate this in their classroom, right? After the implementation, you have the impact phase where they'll talk about how impactful was it when they implemented the plan of action in the class, right? This is the selection of date. When would you like to have the next cycle to begin with? So which again is something very user friendly, right? Again, for certain questions, the AI generates the prompts. If the teacher is finding difficulty in terms of understanding what the prompts are, it helps you in terms of generating certain responses, which you can again modify. It will help you understand what the specific questions are, right? And this is the reflection log, which I mentioned earlier, where it gives a complete detail of what happened right from the beginning, right from the inception of the cycle till the end. The complete details will be captured, and when the cycle is complete, so it will generate a certificate for you. So this is how the certificate looks. It will be obviously bigger than what I'm showing here. Just to give you an idea, this is how it looks, right? So this is something which is about the Edthena platform. And again, as mentioned earlier, the time is a constraint. So in the regular classroom observation cycle, we would have this cycle where teach, observation, feedback, and implementation. And if we don't have enough resources in terms of many number of teachers or time constraint, this might be highly challenging for the teacher to conduct the observation, right? Now, to ensure that those problems are cut short, AI coach what it does is that teach, self-evaluation, again, you reflect and teach. So this is something which happens in a cyclical manner. So you need not have a person to go and observe the class, the follow-up, and all those things can be systematically reduced, and the time constraint and also the other aspects related to class observation can be made very minimal with the help of the AI coach. Now again, like how can we implement this, right, in a regular classroom, right? It is very much useful if you're talking about a micro teaching session. So someone who's new or even someone who's experienced, they normally conduct micro teaching session for 5 or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever. So it'll be highly beneficial for them as well. And whole class observation, right? When you want to observe your whole class observation, again, that's something like with the help of a camera or phone rather, you'll be able to do that to train new recruits again. And professional development Saturdays, right? This is something like most often the schools ask for a professional development trainer and they spend money on that aspect as well. So what it does is that those PD Saturdays can be utilized for these self-evaluation or reflective cycle where the teachers, whomever wants to self-evaluate and reflect, they can go through that cycle, which can be highly beneficial, which is if it is done in the PD Saturdays, right? Professional development Saturdays. And as I mentioned earlier, 6 to 8 cycles per year per teacher is something which is recommended for uh, a good improvement to be seen. This is something which is recommended by Edthena itself and which is done in the United States as well. Right? With that, come to an end. Thank you for your patience. Right? Dheeraj, back to you.
Thank you so much, Faisal, for that. I think that was amazing, quite detailed. And there are quite a few questions that have also come up in the chat. I think we would need to answer all of them. And I would also invite all of you to ask as many questions as possible during our Q&A session. Before we get into the Q&A, I know quite a few of you are here patiently hearing us talk about this new product and new way of professional development. So I know avidly everybody has listened to what I had to say and also what Faisal had to say. So I'd like to pop up a quick poll here before I go forward and talk about what are the benefits for you and how would it work in your context. But really want to understand in which aspects of the presentation that we showed today or AI coach as a solution interests you the most, right? It's a very simple question. Any of you, I mean, it's a personal opinion, personal choice, and I would love to hear from you what aspect you really liked. Most of you are selecting all of these. That's amazing to hear. But at the same time, would love to hear from all of you. So I can see some of you already answered. I would request everyone who's here, please contribute to this poll. It's based on what you just heard, what you just listened, saw as well, Faisal showcase as a tool, how can you use it? So would really love to hear from you which aspect of AI Coach by Edthena interests you the most. Is it improving classroom practice through video reflection? Is it structured coaching cycle? Is it the scalable teacher development for institution or schools? Is it clear documentation of teacher growth and progress, or is it all of these? All right. So I see all of these being the leading answer here, but I'd request everyone to please contribute and answer this poll. All right, so we have enough answers now. So all of these is the most popular answer. Thank you so much, audience, for being engaged and answering that question. That really helps us to validate what we have been presenting is actually valuable for all of you. Great to hear that. So, you know, we want to really talk about holistically what are the benefits really for you as an educator, what for you as a school leader. How does this make sense, right? For educators, this is personalized coaching, right? Tailored to their own context, not something generic that is happening. It is 100% private. Your videos, your work with the AI is 100% private. Nobody else sees this unless and until you want them to. Right? So no judgment, no remarks whatsoever. It's completely up to you. It's self-paced. So you don't need to complete the whole 2 hours at one go. That's the beauty of it. You can do it in bits and pieces. And the end of the cycle documentation, has a certificate attached to it for every cycle. So that sort of gives you the professional development certification hours in just one, and you can have n number of such certifications completed. So you can really sky's the limit. It basically depends on your availability. And then for schools or school leaders who are looking to develop a professional development culture in their institutions, this helps in consistently improving teaching quality across the school, across classrooms. If you have multiple schools, even across schools that you don't need any extra infrastructure investment. It actually works on the existing devices and works on actually any device, really, to be very honest. So these are some of the implementation hassles are removed because of these. It's direct implementation. Everybody's motivated because it's unique to their use case. Right? So yeah, that is especially for teachers and schools. If we have to talk about some of the education consultants that have joined today, or if you're a distributor, if you're a partner, if you're a reseller of products to institution, from a business perspective, it's pretty straightforward. There's no inventory that you have to manage. There are no logistics. It's an annual subscription model. It's easy to demonstrate, easy to do a pilot with, very highly repeatable, renewable potential. So you can have annual renewals, a very strong differentiated solution. Right? But that's exactly what it is, very easy to implement, pretty straightforward, self-used, it's web-based, works on any tablets, no installation is required, very simple onboarding, very intuitive, self-intuitive process, and it is very private. So no access to anybody else. So teachers feel secure that they are not being judged or being viewed by anybody else. So as a next step, if you like what you saw, you want to implement this throughout your school, you want to recommend this as a solution for institution, for your higher education institution, if you're a B.Ed school, if you're a B.Ed college, and if you want to implement this across your institution, please register your interest either by scanning this QR code, or my colleague will shortly share in the chat. Oh, he's already shared in the chat a link. This link essentially what it does, this is very special, right? So it gives you access to one coaching cycle for free. So if you register for it, show interest for it, especially educators who want to test it, try it, even school leaders who want to test it and try it, we'll be very happy to provide you that one cycle free access where you can go in, use it, and basically understand how this would be implemented in your school. And we'll be happy to have this consultative session where we understand how we can implement this across your school. Very simple. So I request everyone, whoever is there right now in this session, if you're interested in implementing this across your school, your institution, would request you to please fill in this form, fill in this QR code, and somebody from our team will get in touch with you, have a chat, have a consultation session, understand your context and use case, give you that login with a simple demonstration, and we'll be able to do that one practice. Remember, this is all private. Nobody is viewing you. We cannot, Edthena themselves cannot go in and also check out the videos. Really honest, that's how encrypted it is. It is FERPA compliant. FERPA compliance is the top level compliance from the US, where the data is private only to the user. All right, so next steps, for you to get the participation certificate, my colleague will just share a link in the chat. That is where you will get your participation certificate. This is only for the attendees who have joined in the session. So this is the link that is only for you. You can click on this link. Please remember to write your details exactly how you want it to appear on the certificate. Okay? Please write the details, your name, exactly how you want it to appear. The capitals and the smaller cases, please write them exactly how you want it to appear to avoid any mistakes on the certificate. So please make sure you click on this link, put in your details, um, and you'll receive your certificate in your email. So to receive your participation certificate, click on that and fill in your details. Yeah. So let's move to question and answers. I know there are quite a few people who want to ask questions. We'll be happy to answer each one of them. So I'd request all of you, you can now unmute yourself and interact with us directly if you wish to, or you can put your questions in the chat. So Jyoti has asked, when there are many other AIs and chat GPTs, what is the significant use of this? Can you please mention clearly? I think, Jyoti, um, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of different chat applications there that give you access to knowledge, information using AI. And why is this special? We don't want to, number one, not all chat systems will use your video and be able to give you comments and feedback on exactly what happened in the classroom. This is specifically designed for the use case of teachers, right? It's a closed-ended platform that only helps you to develop professionally, specifically, right? This is not where it will go wandering around other topics and try to bring in inputs from there. This is specific for the use case of teachers' professional development. It has been purposely developed for that. I mean, think of it as it's not all tools in one box is the right tool for the teacher, right? So ChatGPT is generic and you can wander with it, but that's a different use case altogether. This is for the teachers use case specifically, who want to um, develop their professionally.
Yes,
Some
again,
people,
yeah.
yes, some people were asking about pricing earlier and costs. I would request you, if you are interested to implement this, we'll be very happy to talk about it based on your use case and how you want to implement it. We will be able to customize the solution for you. So would request you to fill in the form to do that.
And to answer that question again, ChatGPT is generic and it's not industry specific. Right? This is something which is industry specific. So it learns from the responses that we generate, and it moves on from, like, it creates better responses than what it created or generated yesterday or the last week. So it keeps on learning and improving. Along with that, we also have like one more session at the Ridge, like on VC3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we have a VC3 session also. Yes.
but again, something you might find it really helpful and useful.
Yeah.
Please watch out for the session. Any other specific question?
All right. Not able to fill the forms? 1 second. Let me check. Okay, for the certificate, I'd request all of you to, without the space, you can mention your name right now. No problem, we'll fix that. We'll have the proper name there on the certificates. Right, Rohit? We can do that?
Yes, Dheeraj, we can.
Okay. You can just fill out the form without the space. We will fix that. We will get you a proper name there. Yeah.
And you can use the platform and see how it works as well.
Yeah.
I think one free trial is available, so kindly utilize it.
One full cycle that gives you 2 hours of professional development certificate. Yeah.
Any other questions? You can post it on the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask for the question.
Yes, absolutely, Neha. This is amazing for the government schools. It's amazing for any school, for that matter of fact. Absolutely.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Yes.
Sir, suppose, just speaking about myself a PGD chemistry teacher, sir. So naturally, generally, board work is up to the mark, it is going on. But can I show any activity regarding the subject? Suppose I'm teaching physical chemistry, I want to teach them the Raoult soil solution. Can I show any activity using the AI?
No, this tool is not for building activities or lesson plans like that, Prasun sir. It is specifically for teaching abilities, sir, teaching skills. So it's not subject oriented, and it's not generally going to support you in terms of how can you teach a particular subject or a topic or activities that you can do in the classroom for that topic. It's specifically for how it can improve your overall ability to educate, ability to teach, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for asking the question.
And responding back to Ms. Neha's question, sure. So even though the practices or the strategies that was mentioned are some of the international best practices, it doesn't mean that it is not applicable to the Indian context. It is applicable to Indian context, any school, any board, any syllabus, right? It's applicable across all the boards.
Please feel free to ask any further questions. We'll be happy to answer. You can obviously unmute yourself and ask those questions, or you can put your questions in the chat. No questions will go unanswered. So please ask any question that you have. We are here and happy to answer your questions.
Dheeraj sir, how do we get to practice or access the tools, sir?
So once you fill in the form for activating the trial that my colleague has just now again shared, so our representative will give you a call and try to understand how do you want to utilize it, where do you want to utilize it, and accordingly give you a license for one cycle. All right. One cycle means analyze, reflect, all of those four stages, and basically you will be able to use it.
Okay. And one more thing, like as you said, it is for improvement of the teaching skills, not for developing like lessons or activities for the teachers, right?
Yes.
So will it also help in improving like other soft skills that are required for the teachers? Is it does that mean the same?
So not really soft skills, but your ability to teach literacy. It does help you to do that. I will just show you once again the core skills that it covers. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
These are the core skills that it covers. You're able to see this?
Yes, sir. Yes. I'm able to see.
Yeah. So there are like 13 core teaching skills, and then you have science of reading. Foundation is for younger age groups. Growth and application is for older age groups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Understood.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Neha, it is a paid platform. Yes, you will either you will have to purchase it or your institution will have to purchase it and give you the access. Right now, we're giving one cycle for free. So if you like what you see, you can always look to push this through your institution. Yes. Any other questions that you may have?
Yes. Dheeraj sir, this is Pravalika again. So
Yes, please.
as you said, we can purchase it for ourselves. So does that mean that like we can purchase it and by enhancing ourselves, even we can help the other teachers like by conducting the sessions or helping them to nurture the skills? Is it does that work that way also?
No, so we currently are not, selling it directly to teachers. We are only selling it through institutions, to teacher training institutions, through schools, through higher education institutions, especially who are running B.Ed, right? So those institutions we are selling to currently. We are giving you right now a free trial access to experience it. And if you like what you see, you can definitely, talk about it with your institution. And if it makes sense, you can go for it. Yeah.
Yes, understood.
So, sir, you are providing it to the only B.Ed colleges supposed to be?
Not, sir. Not only to the B.Ed colleges. This is applicable for all institutions, sir, schools, as well as K-12 schools, as well as B.Ed colleges, both. Because that's where most of the teacher professional development journey actually starts.
Okay. So, which schools are preferential for that one?
Sir, all types of schools, state board, CBSE, IB, Cambridge, irrespective, because this is focused on the core teaching skills, sir. Not subject, not board.
Same I was asking you.
Yes, sir.
Means they are related with the methodology of teaching, not to the typical subject-oriented program.
Correct, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You are most welcome.
Yeah.
I would request anybody who's interested in exploring this and would like to proceed further with that free one coaching cycle, please click on the link in the chat, fill in your details, and our team will get in touch with you, understand your use case, and help guide you to how to do the one cycle, and then you can absolutely look it for your institution. Any further questions, please feel free to ask. We are here. We'll be happy to answer. You can unmute yourself. You can ask your questions in the chat. Either way works.
Sir, I guess on 10th, some other webinar also you have conducted, if I'm not wrong, on 10th, I guess, right?
We do a lot of trainings, ma'am, every month on different topics, subjects. Yes.
I enrolled for 3. So one is on 25th of March. So that is okay. But I guess one happened on 10th or 11th. By my bad, I missed it. I had some other thing to attend. So I was just checking if any recordings, or again, if those webinars at any time would you be conducting, so that I can just join up.
Absolutely, ma'am. So I think if you had registered for it, you must have received an email with the recording. And the recording also will be soon updated on the platform itself, Knotral training on the website itself. It will be updated too soon. At the moment, it's not showing the 10th March video, but it will show soon.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
And do check your email. You might have already received one. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll do that. It might gone have back. I'll just go and search for that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, I think we have already overshot our time. Anybody has any further questions, please feel free to ask. If not, you can always reach out to us at training@knotral.com or contact@knotral.com. These are our email addresses. Please feel free to reach out to us for any questions, queries. We'll be happy to answer those. Thank you so much. You were an amazing participant, engaged with the session. Appreciate you joining in. Do explore all of our other training programs that we are doing regularly. We are doing it every month, and we'll be happy to host you in all of those. Thank you so much. Have a great day, great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.